What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Welcome to Easley, South Carolina. We had a very special day a couple days ago. I have my friend Jesse here with me. Where you at, Jesse? There he is. Oh, and I just gave away what the very special day was, as if you couldn't tell from the title already. The Neon now has multiple friends here in the driveway. The Delica, Jesse's Evo, that you guys have seen before briefly in some videos, but I think we need to do a full feature video on the Evo.
Yeah. Have you ever even driven it before? I don't think you have.
I had to have driven it before. You've had it for so long, I've had to have driven it before.
Megan drove it, but she drove us back from the Clemson game that one.
Oh yeah. And then we have the 180 and the GTO. You can't really see the 180 on camera. It's dark. The paint looks really good. It's hard to do it justice on camera. It's kind of a purplish, grayish blue, but it came out really good. This is my first time seeing it was when I picked it up at the port here at Savannah, Georgia. And the GTO. Both getting a nice garage spot right now. It's super exciting to have all the cars here. It was a super stressful day though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Going to get the cars was the most stressful thing I've had to deal with in a long time. We went down, there was kind of some hiccups with the paperwork and everything on my end because it was my first time doing it. I had the bill of lading sent to me and I was supposed to send that off to the actual shipping company that shipped the car, but I didn't know that being my first time, and that was really the only big holdup and hiccup. And I wanted to do a whole video later on kind of going into the prices of everything, but I haven't added it all up, honestly, so I'm not really going to talk about that so much in this video. I just kind of want to show the cars and get you guys excited for some better content to come. When we rolled up to the, I don't even remember how to say it, like Wallenish Welsheimer or something like that, some Swedish or something shipping company, we rolled up to their head office in Savannah, and we're going to focus? Come on, look at the Delica. There we go. We rolled up to their office, which is not really how it's done normally. Normally you mail the bill of lading to them, but we rolled up and handed it in by hand, and the guy there was like super cool about it. Like, first of all, they weren't expecting us, definitely, because like we got there and they were all like, what are you here for? Like, we're accountants, we don't know what you need. Like, and then some other guy rolled up and he's like, oh, I got you guys. And he's like looking at our paperwork, he's like, oh, it's not a Skyline, huh? And I was like, no. And he went into a bunch of stuff about what, like, about people shipping them in before they were legal and getting seized, and he's like making sure that we had went through customs correctly and everything. It was pretty funny.
He was pretty impressed though, because he was like, oh, you actually have all your paperwork.
Right. So
it was actually a pretty easy process since you had everything figured out already.
I think I was just stressing out over being my first time, I guess, but
yeah, trying to do everything right.
Yeah. And then we headed down to the port. We had to get an escort, which was a whole nother funny ordeal. Our escorts were hilarious, guys. They loved the van. Yeah. They were like, Pitmobile, like, yeah, this thing's awesome.
There's so many girls in that thing.
Those dudes were hilarious. But I had to pay them a pretty penny too, kind of ridiculous. I'll go into all that later on, like I said. But then we got there, we got the cars. Even the guy that was at the port that led us to the cars, he was like, wow, really surprised you guys aren't bringing in Skylines. It's like cool to see some other stuff. And he said, so who's got the love for clean cars? And we're like, well, all of us. And he was taking a look at the cars. He's like, man, I love them. Like, these are all so clean. He's like, what grade are they? Blah, blah, blah. And the 180 was actually the only one that started up. The other two had a dead battery. And normally if they have a dead battery, and if you can't jump them off yourself, they charge you like $80 per car. But because he had been talking to us and because he saw how clean the cars were, he was like, man, I just saved you guys like $160. And I was like, heck yeah, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
But then Jesse, you drove this one all the way back.
Oh yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
I really like it. It's, I mean, you know, I'm a big Mitsubishi guy.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not used to driving right-hand drive that much. I drove the GTR that one time. Like,
yeah.
But making the 4-hour trip back was definitely a learning experience for me. But it's a really fun and stout car. And, you know, in twin turbo all-wheel drive, I mean, you know, you can't.
I had never driven this one. He got to drive this one before I did. I checked it out. We bought this one from the auction and I inspected it, but it was in between two cars, so I wasn't able to drive it at all.
Yeah.
And by the time it got brought to the shop in Japan, I was already back in the States, blah, blah, blah. So you got to drive it like 4 hours before I even got to drive it. And
yeah.
I was pleased to hear that it was fun. And I've since driven it, and it is a really fun car to drive. You know, people talk about these things being like heavy and everything. And of course, I mean, it's definitely heavier than a 180, but we're going to focus today. I wonder how long we've been out of focus here. I seriously hope we weren't just talking for like 3 minutes with that terrible focus. Guess we'll see. If so, I apologize. What else? What else has been going on with him? We've only had him here a couple days. There's some stuff we kind of want to de-rice on this one. I mean,
yeah.
The red is a little bit ricey, I understand. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and I mean, it's not, if I personally own this vehicle to keep forever, I would definitely get rid of some of this red stuff. I have had some compliments on it, but I've also had some hating on it, which I totally understand. It's like a sparkly, glittery mix of red and silver, and I don't know, I'm thinking about painting it, thinking about at least painting the wing, painting all these red spots back to black just to make it look a little bit better. The 180, it does still need a dash. I am offering it for sale right now, but at a discounted price because of the dash. It's still a super low kilometer, you know, like 30,000, 48,000 kilometers, I think, 30,000 something miles. I'd have to look exactly, but the dash is still a little bit messed up. So I'm offering this one a little bit cheaper right now, around probably 20,000 or so with the cracked dash. And the GTO is for sale. It's all ready, but I probably will end up painting the stuff like I said. This one's for sale for $18,300, which for the car it is. I mean, like comparing it to the GTR, whenever I had my GTR at least,
yeah,
I like this better, like drivability wise.
It's quick.
It's quick. It's probably just as quick, if not quicker than the GTR. Yeah. And this one rides way better. I mean, this one's only got 60,000 original miles.
GTO's the same year as the GTR, right? Weren't they both 91?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
This one just feels like a much more nicer put together car. And that might just be because my GTR wasn't the nicest. I don't know. But I really do like this one, and it's definitely a car that somebody could daily drive or take to the mountains and destroy some of these US DM boys. And then of course the Delica. I don't even have to say anything about the Delica. It's the 4-cylinder turbo diesel zombie killing apocalypse van. Everybody has been freaking out about this thing and easily. Well, there was 2 interactions yesterday that were hilarious. We were driving up somewhere to take some pictures of it with a super JDM retaining wall, and we were going through an intersection. You love JDM retaining walls. Those are the best. We were coming up to an intersection. I was in the Delica, and there was a guy in like a, what was that, like an Astro van? Is that the right description? Is that what those are called?
I think that's what, yeah, like the Chevy Astro van.
It's like the cool vans of America, like that have, you know, like the big plush seats and yeah. Basically the equivalent of like a Delica or something.
Yeah, like the best road tripping people.
Yeah. So we roll up and he's like looking at the van. I can see him looking at the van. Like we're looking at his van and he's just like, oh man, that's a way better van than mine. And like he's staring and he waves at us. We wave back at him. And then at that same intersection on the way back, we're just sitting there at the red light and that dude rolls through. He's like, that thing's badass. It was hilarious. The van has gotten the most attention out of all of them. I mean, you know, those were offered in the States, models similar to those at least, but you just don't ever see anything like this in the States. We're gonna take it up to some off-road and stuff eventually if it doesn't sell automatically. This one is available right now too at $16,800 USD. If you're interested in any of those, the Evo is also available for how much?
$5.
$5. $350, about $350. And then the Neon, let's not forget about the Neon. I'd sell this for the right price. 10 grand. Just kidding. But if you do want to buy it, I mean, you can message me. I probably would sell it if it's the right price. But more importantly, buy the JDM stuff. Need to fund the business. I mean, I do love these cars. The 180, that's my favorite out of all of them, honestly. Yeah. Driving it, like, it's just so nimble. Like I said before, you know, people say these things are boats. It's definitely a bigger car and definitely heavier, but the 180 is just, the SR20 DET. Let's pop the hood on that one.
It's definitely the cleanest one too.
It's the cleanest, yeah.
I was about to say the interior is super clean. The only downside being the dash, but obviously that's...
Yeah, right here are the 2 downsides. The dash and actually this piece right here, it's got some peeling on it, but I'm gonna fix that as well. But yeah, the interior is got the nice updated Type X seats from the newer Type X. Put a new steering wheel in it before. Also, the rear seats are the later model Type X rear seats. Ooh, baby. I still kind of need to clean the dust out of all of here, but I mean, it's a stock, almost completely stock. It's got a blow-off valve, it's got an exhaust, but SR20 DET. What is the current exact kilometers? It is 48,404 original kilometers. So I can't remember, like 30-something thousand miles. You're not gonna find one that low mileage anywhere. This was the only one I saw like it in Japan. It's just dusty, needs to be cleaned up a little bit.
That coilovers on it too.
Oh yeah, that's right, it does have the coilovers. I think that's the only modifications, the coilovers the exhaust, blow-off valve, and of course it's got a little bit of aftermarket aero. I believe it's the Boomex kit. I think this thing's the most period correct car you'll find. Whoever bought it, it was a one-owner car in Japan. They bought it and then did all the modifications on it like 2 or 3 years after they bought it. Yeah. So it's just, you know, it's got the old school Boomex like kit. It's got the SSR wheels. Yeah. And there's receipts in the car too from him purchasing some of those mods, and like it was dated like 96, 97, 98. So kind of funny to see somebody's owned it that long, did just only a few mods to it. Ugh, let me squeeze back here. It's got the regular tail lights on it. I know some of you guys, whenever I purchased it, were like telling me, nah, it's not a Type X, but I promise you, the early model Type X's had those tail lights instead of like the separated ones that you see. And this, before anybody calls me out, it does say 3000 GT, but it's just like in America. Everybody in America wants the JDM stuff. So you see what, like, you'll see Integras with Honda badges on it here in the States. It's the same thing in Japan. All the Japanese kids want cool American stuff, so they put 3000 GT emblems on their GTOs.
Yeah, we found one of the GTO emblems.
I saw that, yeah. But this thing's pretty sweet too. We'll start them all up here in just a minute. It's got a DVD player in it right here. It only plays Japanese DVDs, and the only Japanese DVD I have is some kind of boat, like history of Japanese Navy or something. I'm not exactly sure. But this thing's pretty clean in the interior as well. Pop the hood on it real quick. That's pretty awesome. Hood shocks. I'm pretty sure that was a factory option as well. Unless, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was factory option. I don't see any of the spot where you'd normally put the latch or whatever. But 6G72. This one, like I said, is around 90-something thousand kilometers, so around 60,000 miles or so. It's got intakes, blow-off valve. Other than that, pretty much factory. It's got an exhaust as well. It's got TN coilovers. It's got some aftermarket wheels, 18-inch cross speed. They look really good. And I think if you painted those red accents black, it would look so good with the black wheels. I think it would just make a lot more sense.
I agree. Yeah, it was really funny when we were at the port. I know you were like dealing with the Delica, trying to get it started. But the two escort guys were talking about, they were looking under the hood and we were checking everything out. And they were looking at the blow-off valve, and the older one was like, he's like, man, I'm pretty sure that's the horn right there.
I missed that. I didn't hear that.
And I was just, I mean, I knew what it was, but I'm just like standing here, like, just kind of watching.
Letting them talk. Let them see what's going on.
The younger guy, he's like, no, man, no, that thing, look, it's attached to the motor. It goes all the way up here, and look, it's attached right there. And that old guy was like, oh yeah, man, you're right, I see what you're talking about. I never corrected either of them.
That's hilarious. That's the best thing to do when somebody starts talking about a car. Like, just let them talk and hear what happens. But this thing's really clean too. No issues whatsoever. Been boosting it around easily a little bit. I have them all already plated, titled, everything good to go. The title should be mailed to me in the next few days, and then they'll be super easy to transfer ownership to the next guy. I would pop the Delica, but it's a little more complicated. It's under the passenger side. I'm gonna
park pretty close to you too.
Yeah. I'm gonna do specific videos on all these cars eventually, just to kind of, you know, feature them all and do some nice footage of them. But now it's just welcome to America. We're gonna start these up for you guys, pull them out just a little bit. Right now we're the only ones here. Mason's inside playing some video games, so we're not gonna leave the house and do any crazy driving at the moment, but at least let you guys hear them and kind of get to see them. Got those HIDs. Yes! I really wish I had a better movie. Now I cleaned this one a couple days ago. It's a little bit dirty now because it's been driven around a couple days. We'll let it warm up a little bit and then we'll give it a couple revs. Haven't really driven it today. But I mean, as you can hear, the exhaust sounds pretty good. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet. You get a nice rumble when you're driving around. You can literally watch Super JDM movies while you drive. I'll include the movie with it.
Here's the remote.
Yep, there's the remote. Good luck if you don't know Japanese. I've always loved the 3000 GTs, the VR4s, and then going to Japan and finding a nice GTO to source to bring over here was definitely awesome to do, because they are really good cars and they're really underrated for what they are. A lot of people go with the super expensive Skylines when this thing is just as good for half the price. Let it warm up a little bit longer.
I always thought this thing was pretty cool too.
Hold on, let me make this guy be quiet.
Got it? Alright. Yeah, when I was driving home, I was messing with the AC thing. I got this to come on.
It is cool looking.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because shows like which way the air's flowing and everything.
They have these even like the older Evos too, like the Evo 4 has it, but it's not even like quite this cool. The display's not as good, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely cool.
So many random cool features on this thing. Teeny little back seat for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're a fan of these things. Brought it over here to sell to see how it would do. Drive it until it does. All right, it's been warming up for a minute. I think we're safe to give it a couple little revs. It's a good sounding car. The blow-off valves too, we were talking about that when you were driving it on the way home. Like, there's so many different sounds. Like, you can definitely hear both of them. Like, it's a cool sound.
All about what boost range you're in, but that's what we were talking about. It's like, no matter what, it's making some kind of different noise.
Yeah. All right, back her in and let's do the 180 next. Now, time for my personal favorite of the cars, at least, the 180 Type X. The key is super fragile. I actually broke one of the first keys that was with the car. Luckily, I had a spare for it. I need to get a couple more stronger keys made so I don't end up breaking another one. Ah, that SR20. Bring this out into the sunlight so you guys can really see this color. Absolutely beautiful in the sunlight out here. I love the color. Super satisfied with how it came out. I love how it's almost a nice little purple shade. One of the most beautiful 180. Oh God, I love pop-up headlights too. Just that color right there is so awesome. I wish I could keep them all. You guys keep asking me too, like, I see a lot of comments on my Instagram or on YouTube like, oh, why are you selling them? Why are you selling them? That's the name of the business right now, guys. Sell the cars, make money, buy more cars, sell more cars. Eventually I'll get something that I'll keep for myself, but right now at the beginning I can't pick something out to keep for myself because I need the funds to keep the business going and to start the business up and everything. But this is a beautiful 180 and I would love to keep it, and it drives so freaking amazing. I didn't realize how much I loved 180s until I got this thing. These Kenwood things back here light up too. It's like old school speakers. Still got a sticker here that's kind of like wearing off now, but this was from the original dealership in Kyoto, I believe. And you guys can see the dash looks like a volcanic eruption. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
The floor mats are still the floor mats from this one. I wanted to find the floor mats that match the seats too, but I just didn't have quite the time to do it before I left Japan. But you've driven this one too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it too. It's definitely a lot different than the GTO because, like you were saying, it's a lot more nimble.
Yeah.
Lighter, smaller wheelbase, but it pulls really.
It pulls, and it just feels like you could throw it into anything and it'd be cool with it.
I definitely want to see how this and the RX-7 might match.
Yeah. Jesse's got an FC RX-7 Turbo 2, what, 25th anniversary?
10th anniversary.
10th anniversary.
Yeah.
That would make a lot more sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But that thing's pretty sweet. We did a video on it a while back, and only about 3,000 of you watched it, so thanks for that. You guys can go watch that video. But yeah, this is definitely very comparable to like that. Lightweight, fun. Let it warm up a little bit longer. And we'll give it a couple revs for you guys.
Its AC controls aren't as cool as the GTO.
And it's basic Nissan stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Mitsubishi's got like the fun little interesting buttons and stuff. The Delica, the GTO, both. All right, let's hear this beautiful purple, grayish, bluish 180 SX Type X. Gotta love an SR20 DET. It does sound really good. Alrighty, you can put her up. We're gonna do a video eventually where we take all of these cars out together and just have a good time, you know, go downtown, go do some mountain driving, unless they sell before then. Oh man, I want to drive the 180 now. I want to take it places. So there you have a look at the two cars of the bunch. Thank you, Jesse, for assisting in that.
No problem.
I love these things.
Always love driving some fun Japanese cars.
Yeah, and doesn't get too much more fun than these two. They're such two different cars completely,
Yeah.
but they're both super fun in their own way. And then the Delica is super fun in really its own way. There's nothing like the Delica. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna move the Neon out of the way, and Jesse's gonna take the Delica, we're gonna start it up, and he's actually gonna drive the Delica around the block, and I'll be waiting here so I can film the Delica coming back down the street and up into the driveway, because the Delica's freaking hilarious looking going down the road. It's just so unique.
That's why when I was driving behind you the other day, it's like it looks so skinny on the road.
It
so
does.
tall.
It just looks like it wants to flip over somewhere.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like that when you're driving it. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you go on an off ramp at, you know, 60 miles per hour, yeah, you're probably gonna flip that thing a few times, but daily driving, you don't feel like you're gonna flip normally. So let me move the turd. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. I know I gained a lot of following from the Neon, but I mean, when you stack it up against like all the rest of the cars in the driveway, man, I don't feel like driving the Neon anymore. All right, we got Jesse in the Delica, ready to take it for a spin around the block. It looks so funny beside the Evo. I love the yellow fogs too. The yellow fogs are so sweet.
This thing is so crazy, dude.
It's so cool to drive. Mason is the coolest kid in school when I come to pick him up in this thing. All the other kids are freaking out. It just looks so funny going down the road. I still haven't properly secured the license plate. Oh my God, it's so cool. And you can just go right over the median however you want. Such a cool car. It looks so cool going down the road. Oh my God, I love that thing. While we're waiting on him to circle back around, I do still love the Neon. She's a pretty girl, but I am super excited to have the Japanese cars here, and it really has made me put the Neon on the back burner a little bit. I haven't driven it in a few days, and it's been sitting down here in the street for the most part. I hear the Delica coming. It's got a funny sound to it. Like, you can hear the thing. You can definitely tell it's something unique coming around the corner. That 4-cylinder turbo diesel is very interesting. Just look at it. It's so tall and so skinny. Such a funny looking car. That girl in the Jeep behind him just a minute ago was laughing. Just look at this thing. It's so freaking cool. Oh my God, I love the Delica. If you guys don't love the Delica, you crazy. Oh my God, I love the way this thing looks. The yellow fog lights are just perfect. And this Delica Star Wagon, the special gear for 4x4 runners. This one also had the light up license plates on it. Those are pretty desirable in Japan. I wish I had one to put on it, but I don't. It's got auto locking hubs, real 4x4. One of the coolest vehicles ever made in my opinion. Delica Star Wagon Turbo D. I don't know why, I just can't quit looking at it. seeing it moving, seeing it with the lights on, that is just such a cool van. Mason loves it because he's got all this room. He's got all these controls back here. He can control his own heating and AC. He can control the radio back here. There's plugins for everything. We'll go more in depth into this one in its own video because it definitely deserves its own video. And this one is the Super Exceed model, which is the top of the line for the Delica Star Wagon. Our good friend Jesse is heading out for now. It's about dinner time. And we both have families. We both love our cars and doing car things together, but we both do have families to think of. And Megan's on her way home. We're gonna eat some dinner here in just a little bit. So Jesse and his Evo 10, those demon eye looking things, is heading out. His is a nice Evo. We'll have to do a review on it sometime. It'll shoot some flames occasionally as well. Ooh. But for now, I might as well wrap up this video as well because I am starving. You guys let me know what you think. The Delica, the GTO, the 180, they're all here. I love every single one of them. I have like certain things about each of them that are my favorite. So it's really hard to pick a favorite. Like I love driving the van. Mason loves the van. The van probably gets the most attention out of all of them. But the 180 is so much fun to drive. The GTO is really quick. And they're all super clean and they're all really in good condition. And as much as I do love all of them, like I said, they are all for sale. If you're interested in any of them, shoot me a message on here. You can shoot me a message on the YourCarBro Facebook page. You can message Garage Defend if you want. Anywhere. They're on Facebook Marketplace as well. The 180 is not, but it will be soon. I just want to fix those couple things. But if you're interested, let me know. They are all here, titled, ready to go. I love them. I just love that van. Look at that freaking thing. Oh man, and that's pretty much stock too. Like you can put some bigger tires on it, you lift it, you can put roof racks, light bars. That is such a cool van. Anywho, I'll do another video soon, kind of breaking down the import process a little bit more. It was just pretty complicated, and you can't film at the port either, so it's like a federal crime to do that. Wasn't trying to get arrested or get anybody in trouble, but the whole day was quite stressful. At the end though, I had it all figured out, and once I do this again and bring more cars over, it'll be so much easier, and I definitely won't be stressing like I was. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited for JDM content here in America. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.